Well, here we are, we're all at home, and an awful lot of people are at home from work, and children are at home from school, and maybe things are going to, maybe more people will have to be at home, except for emergency people, and the strain on them is very severe too, especially healthcare workers. And people think, what can I do at home? There's not much I can do at home. They do feel disempowered at home, but you can be more empowered at home than you realise. You can learn so much about your health. I suppose I've been doing the videos now for a year trying to emphasise that. Home is a very, very powerful place to be. And when we stop, when we stop working for other people and realise, we need to take responsibility for our health and maybe do a bit of a reality check and realise, have I got the foundation for health in place? And that can only be put in the home. And we talk about going out to the supermarkets and buying things and bringing things in. We need to check and realise that what we really need are the essential things. And I suppose that's where my focus has been. So I'm just going to talk about a few things here when you're at home, and teaching children, and basic things about looking after their health. And people think that these things that I'm just going to talk about are relatively insignificant, but in actual fact, if we were to do them every day, they're very powerful. We've actually forgotten about how powerful basic things are. I talk about drinking water. I'm not going to stay too long on any of them. You could talk about water for a long, long time, but drink water, because a lot of people have acid blood because of teas, coffees and alcohol and fizzy drinks and whatever. So drinking water alkalises the body. An alkaline body is a powerful body. It's a healing body. The thing about it is, in the morning you could get some warm water, get some lemon, squeeze the lemon into the water and drink that. That then, what that does is helps clean out any toxins out of the liver. Very important. Also, what water is important too, it keeps our mouth moist. And when our mouth is moist, if there's any bacteria or viruses that go into the mouth, there's less chance of them staying in the mouth or in the throat. And the lungs as well. Our body, as well as being hydrated, as water is like a food, but water is also, it acts like holds us together. It's very important for the blood. It's important for our brain function. But also what it does also is it cleans, and water is very important for cleaning out the lungs. And people need to keep their lungs hydrated. Of course, if somebody's health is compromised, they might need to maybe look at not drinking too much. But if a person is normally healthy and just a little bit worried, just reduce the teas and coffees and just increase your water intake. And if the weather is good, a little bit of warm water. I also, there are healing foods, and foods that heal and foods that make us ill. And our focus is on healing foods. Again, you can go onto YouTube. It's full of, we really can turn to YouTube now, because there's a wealth of knowledge there now that maybe we will have more use for. But healing foods, look for healing foods and healing recipes. Things like using ginger. Ginger is very healing. Using things like turmeric, putting them into our food. Again, I've talked in the past about bone broth, boiling bones. There's an awful lot of nutrients and health benefits from boiling bones, and whether that's beef or chicken or fish, any kind of bones. As I say, vegetables as well. Vegetables, especially root vegetables, are very healing and very good for us here in Ireland. If you're in a hot country, of course, warm fruit is very good. Talk also about things like chickpeas and chia seeds and fennel seeds and flax seeds, and put all those into a nice organic porridge or something in the morning. So we need to look at kidney beans and all of that, learn how to use them. They're very healing foods as well. Reduce milk and reduce cheese, because they would be very mucus forming, and then we don't want to be too mucousy in the nose or in the lungs. And keep the airways as clear as possible. Sugar, reduce sugar as well. Sugar feed bacteria and viruses. They feed off sugar. So reducing sugar is, as I say, a great thing to do. And a challenge, I know, to put all of these things right, because you know we're habit forming, and it can be hard to break habits. And exercise, I suppose we're lucky here in the country. We're able to go out and have some exercise in the country, and that's what I do. I'm meeting people, you know, at a distance, but I'm able to at least talk to them when I am out walking. And when you're out, you know, you get in the fresh air, breathe deeply when you're out. You know, if you're healthy again, big deep breaths in through your lungs, breathe for about 5, then stop for about 2, and breathe out again. Breathe in that air, and that will also fill up the lungs, keep the lungs nice and healthy, and will also reduce stress levels, because when we don't breathe deeply, we build up adrenaline in the body, and that needs to be released so that it doesn't harm us. We breathe it away rather than have it circulating in our body. I would also say with the news, I listen to the news just once a day, keep up to date as to what's going on, but I certainly do not infect my mind with continuous updates on news. Don't read the papers. You know, you don't need it. Newspapers and the media, they can really grip onto anything that's sensational and have a field day and have everybody trapped in it. And that's really a stress trap to be in. Once a day is fine, you know, if it's preferably not last thing at night. You know, I would say 6 o'clock, but nighttime, don't go to bed on stress. To also say that with the level of stress, people are talking, neighbours are meeting people, or maybe on the phone, or on the TV, or whatever it is. And if there's children in the house, I know it's very difficult, because stress levels, you know, you have to express yourself, but if possible, try not to have children in the room when you are talking, because to them it's doom. To us, to a lot of people, it can sound like doom and gloom, but certainly to children it can be a lot worse, because they have absolutely no idea of, you know, how the economy or how our health can actually recover, and recover very quickly once we have a way of recovering. And I think that's the other thing too, is, you know, we can see that we can see, you know, people talk about dolphins and clean water in Venice, and they talk about the smog over China is clearing, and the smog over Italy is clearing. The earth cleans itself very, very quickly when we stop hammering pollutants into it. And we also, our bodies have the ability to heal very, very quickly when we have the right knowledge and the right instructions. And I hopefully would be giving out what I know, what I get from scientists from around the world, to let people know that, you know, there's a world out there that's definitely a very worthwhile world to know about. We are going into a global economy, and things in the West are shutting down. I suppose dirty industries will close, you know, because that has to happen. And what we're doing is we're working with clean industry. So clean industry is helping the earth to heal, and it's helping us to heal. And again, it can happen very, very quickly. You know, what's being sold in shops and that can harm your health. I suppose the other thing is, I was out with my daughter the last day, and she wanted to get something in Argos. And Argos were open at the time. I don't know if they're still open, because they're an English company. But we were just looking at, I was just looking at people being spaced, you know, the spaces between them in the supermarkets. We went in, we got a few little bits. I get butter and a few little bits and pieces in the supermarket. I try to buy as little as possible there. Maybe I might have to go back to it, I don't know. I mean, we can only take each day as it comes, but for now I try and stay away as much as possible. But what I was looking at was the distance between people. You know, you have to stand here and stand, you know, so much farther away in case you get infected. And sad thing about it was that a lot of people were taking from the shelf products that are just put on the shelf with no information on it, and put them into their baskets. And, you know, knowing what I know and what I try and reach out to people with, the harm that they're doing to the immune system. Well, not everything, but a lot of what's going into the baskets and into the trolleys is really what's damaging the immune system, not your neighbour, you know. And certainly colds and flus, they do pass from one to the other, But that's if the immune system is down, and the only way the immune system can be down is when we put the wrong stuff on our skin or into our bodies. You know, it is, as I say, it's discipline and it's education and it's relearning. So, you know, I'm relearning all the time because I'm getting so much information from doctors and scientists who are in the wellness industry and other customers. You know, we're creating a team around the world now, and I suppose it's we're a healthy, conscious people, and what we do is we teach what we know to other people. So anyway, so that's to say. So really, as I say, it's relearning, you know, people are more resilient, you know, and stronger. People are strong, and we have so much to offer to each other. And you know, sometimes when the world is going flying by and everything is wonderful, people don't think we need each other. But at times like this, we know that we do need each other, and that, you know, the goodness that comes from people in times of crisis. So you know, we'll keep going, but I think coming together is a wonderful thing. And even though we're in our homes, you know, technology now is uniting us. Maybe not necessarily here in Ireland, but around Ireland and also around the world. So I hope maybe these few little tips I'll put more on later on, but I hope they help. Anyways, stay well, stay safe, and as I say, try not to worry too much. This too will pass.